Hi, my name's Scott Armanini. Speaking to you from Silicon Valley, thought maybe we should talk about the next multi-billion dollar opportunity. In fact, maybe it's a multi-trillion dollar opportunity. Most people aren't even thinking about this right now. I'm encouraging you to do exactly this. Think about it. Is climate change real? I think based upon what we've seen over the last decade, most people would agree climate change is real. Now, we can debate about the causes of climate change, but I'm here to talk about the effects of climate change and why I believe you as entrepreneurs and we as investors should all be thinking about these multi-billion, perhaps multi-trillion dollar opportunities in mitigating the effects of climate change. So some of the more tangible effects that we see are along the lines of increased storm activity, which of course brings in flooding, great devastation to our coastal regions. So what could we as entrepreneurs and investors do in order to try to mitigate the effects of these storms? Is there anything that we could do that would stop water, seawater, from intruding upon farmland? If you think about it, the percent of people who live within 100 miles of the coast around the world is probably close to 90%. We are coastal beings. We're on the coast, we're near the coast, we're certainly within 100 miles of the coast. That's where most of us live. That's where most of our agriculture is done as well. So what happens when seawater intrudes upon farmland? How do we reverse that effect? Can we reduce that effect? Or should we maybe instead focus on trying to block the intrusion of seawater? So as entrepreneurs, I'm going to encourage you to think about how we might do one or both of those. Either block seawater from coming in to our cities, coming into our farmlands, or to mitigate the effects to somehow rapidly desalinate that water that comes in. Now, perhaps another idea to think about is what happens when the sea level rises. So not just the storm surge that comes from increased storm activity, but what happens as sea levels rise? Given the fact that we are coastal beings, and given the fact that sea level is rising, what do we do? Do we build bigger pumps in order to get rid of the water or to move it from one location to another? Or do we build defenses? Do we think about how to construct fleets of undersea robots to go build new barrier islands to help to keep the storm surges and the sea level rise at bay? What's this worth? Well, just think about the damage that was caused by storm surge from Hurricane Katrina. Think about the damage that was done from Hurricane Sandy. Think about just those two events. Multiple billions of dollars of damage. Who paid for it? We all did. Insurance companies paid for it. We as citizens paid for it. Now, if you could have prevented that, you could have saved lives, you could have saved property, you could have saved all of the inconveniences that took place as a result of that. So I encourage you as entrepreneurs and as investors to think differently, to think about how to mitigate the effects of climate change. Thank you. So I don't know if that's even meaningful. You know, it's just an idea.
Thank you.
No, it was great, Scott.
That's a finish.